Greetings everyone, Fizzy here. Today we'll be talking about the Mayan Pantheon, and we will focus and dedicate this video toward the creation of mankind. Today we will be talking about Ixcacao and her role in the creation of mankind. This is a part of the main story, the creation myth, but this is more in-depth I would say. But if you want to see more about the Mayan Pantheon, gods, creation myth and such, be sure to comment down below. The story as the goddess of chocolate and cacao in the creation of mankind is quite a long and complicated one, but I shorted it down for you quite a bit. The story starts like this: the grandmother, the goddess Ixcacao, however you want to pronounce it, and sorry in advance if I mispronounce anything. She was worried because she found out that both her sons has been killed off in an adventure in the underworld. Those sons of hers is better known as Shibyanki and Hanapu, so she was left taking care of the grandchildren. Since a woman did most of the work, planting, harvesting and cooking, so the grandsons had a lot of free time. They did everything from exploring to different professions, like different types of art, playing around with politics. The US were proud of them and all of their achievements. They were both fine architects, musicians, sculptors and more. But you couldn't help but fret that something very vital to this world was disappearing, and there would eventually be a day of reckoning. For Ixcacao was the last of the soothsayers. The ones who were wise with the knowledge and the ways of the earth. Ones who would feel the rhythm of nature coursing through their veins. Ones who were seers, had the gift of foresight. She thought what would happen. She was worried but occupied with these dark thoughts. She started to look up to find a pregnant woman standing in front of her. The young woman approached the old goddess Ixcacao and stopped. Take a deep breath to find the courage to speak up. The young woman said, "Grandmother, I carry within me the children of your son, who has gone to heaven. My father, the lord of the underworld, as I shamed him, casted me out. I have nowhere else to go. Please take me in and let the grandchildren have a home with you." "How could my son be the father?" asked Mama Cain. "Both my sons died in your land." The young woman said, "My name is Ixquick, or Blood Moon in English. I was there under the Calabal bush when your son Hanapu was decapitated by the soldiers." For those who don't know the sad tale about Shibyanki and Hanapu, it roughly goes like this. Hanapu and his brother Shibyanki was lured to the underworld to get sacrificed through decapitation. However, because Hanapu was immortal, his decapitated head survived and turned into a fruit on a tree. Hanapu's head that was a fruit sat on this woman's hand that turned out to be the goddess Ixquick, who ultimately gave birth to Shibyanki and Hanapu, the hero twins. Ixquick, or should we call her Blood Moon from now on? Easier for me to pronounce and probably easier for you to understand. Blood Moon said his bloody head continued to talk with me after he died. It spat on my hand was that what caused me to conceive these twins. Mama Cain, who was not in the best of the moods to begin with. As we all can understand, I'm quite sure. There's a reason knowing that your children has died, it should all put your mood off. Mama Cain was understandably skeptical. Just another gold digger, she thought. Who knows who the real father of those babies were? Indeed, the future of the kingdom might depend on it. She gave the young woman a big net and said, "Here, take this, go out to my field and don't come back until it's full with food." Full of confidence that she could easily do that thing, Ixquick headed out to the field where she found there was only but one plant growing, a single cob of wild corn. But just as the Greek goddess Aphrodite did to her daughter-in-law Psyche, Mama Cain set a test to learn if the young woman said it was true. I surely think she would be pleased to add another bloodline, if not more, if the unborn twins were seers like her. A divine, a spawn of godlikeness, you know that stuff. But a task which would be pretty impossible unless she asked other goddesses for help. She dropped to her knees in despair. She called out to other goddesses for help and said the following: "Ixcanil, goddess of seed, hear me. Ixtoc, goddess of rain, hear me. Ixcacao, goddess of chocolate, see my tears and come to my aid." They came quickly to her rescue. Ixcanil taught her how to pluck the seeds from the one cob of corn and bless them so they would sprout. Ixtoc brought some nourishing moisture to add to the growth. And Ixcacao, the goddess of chocolate, taught her how to plant the seeds, cultivate and harvest the corn. Then Ixcacao stood by the lower hillside, surrounding the valley, gardening over the quick-growing plants, until the valley was filled It was done, Blood Moon returned with her net overflowing enough food for a feast. Seeing the miracle, Mama Cain welcomed her into the family with open arms. Now when the winter came, it was time for Blood Moon Ixcacao to give birth. She went into the woods alone, soon to deliver the two sons that were to become the sacred twins, although they were not revered as mere deities themselves. They were more like what we would call superheroes, like Hercules, while the twin sons played a very vital role in the creation myths. They sacrificed their own lives to quench the thirst of the sun, so the people would never have to sacrifice themselves again. Because the Mayan people believe if you sacrificed a young boy or a young girl sometimes, or even a chocolate-colored dog each year, it would help. It would like quench the thirst of the sun. It would keep on moving. In some tellings of the myth, he was actually a reincarnation of his father that would come back as a human, who would eventually in Christ-like fashion sacrifice his own life to save mankind. But when taken to heavens, Anapu became a sun god. His younger brother Shibyanke was associated with the full moon, and upon his death, signifying the end of the matriarchal times, he got changed into a woman and became Ixcacao, the moon goddess. So that's a long but yet short tale about Ixcacao and her part in the creation of mankind. If you want to hear more about the creation myth, which would be more about Ixcacao and Rutika and other gods, goddesses and much more, be sure to tell me down below. But I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.